here's how it works. The two competitors have been training for the event, optimizing their overall health, and they're hoping the competition will plant a seed in a conversation about dropping fertility rates here in the U.S. In the past 50 years, men have seen a 50% decrease in their sperm count, accounting for 30% of all infertility cases, but more than 40% of men are never evaluated when a couple is struggling with infertility. So I'd like to welcome in entrepreneur and co-founder Eric Zhu and Shane Fan. Thank you both for your time today. I have to say, this has absolutely been the talk of our meetings, my team meetings here. Talk about the brainchild for this event.
Yeah, so I came up with this idea actually. So last year I was with a bunch of health people and they were talking about sperm. And I was like, oh, it would be kind of sick to raise sperm. And then after I looked into it more, it was like, what's interesting is that how fast the sperm moves is actually correlated. It's an aggregate biomarker. So the faster your sperm is, the healthier you are. So the earlier you sleep, the better you eat, all correlate to the speed of your sperm, which is kind of like making this health in a competition thing. And, I always had this idea in the back of my head. And 3 months ago, kind of how I ended up actually doing it was this billionaire. He ended up flying us out to New York. And he was like, what's like the craziest idea that you have that's not your current company? And I was like, sperm racing. And so I got Nick and I got Shane, who are good friends. And we came into a room and we're like, you know what, let's actually make this happen.
All right. So how is this going to work, Eric?
So how this works is you get samples from two people. So it could be influencers, it could be celebrities. And what we would do is we would put the samples, we would dilute them, clean the samples, put it in a microfluidic, and we use something called rheotaxis, which pushes the current to the sperm, and the sperm would swim through the current to make the sperm swim to the finish line. And it's think about this as like the F1, but for sperm.
So how did you pick your participants for this? And does the winner get a prize? Because I know people can place bets on which one they think is going to win.
Yes. So our main event, which is Tristan of USC and Ashley of UCLA, they're a race. And then the winner will get a grand prize of $10,000.
And yeah, we have also like a lot of prediction markets. I think, there's a lot of casinos that reached out, but kind of I think prediction markets work actually a lot different than casinos, where it's not you against the house, but it's you making betting contracts against other people. So somewhat like the election. I don't know if you guys seen the election prediction market where people were betting millions of dollars on which election was going to win. I think for us, in the last 2 days, we have around $157,000 being bet on these two guys' sperm, which is quite interesting.
It really is. And looking at the marketing for this, it really is genius. Okay, people will bet on almost anything. Obviously, this kind of proves it, but there really is a bigger goal here moving forward. Talk about that.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, fertility has declined in the last 50 years, and it's still declining. There's this dystopian future that people won't be able to make babies. And the reason for that is because sperm has always been considered a very taboo concept, right? Where the only thing that when people say sperm, you're associating this directly to adult entertainment. And it shouldn't really be that, because sperm is such an important biomarker. And people should actually talk about it more as a biomarker sense versus an actual taboo thing. So we're trying to change the paradigm of sperm with this event, making it more mainstream, and also changing what people think about sperm as more of like a degenerate thing. Like one of the things that we made sure to is basically not have any adult entertainers inside the venue, right? Or like have any of them associated. And a lot of it's just focused on biomarkers, even in a funny way. For example, we're giving these racers $1,000, $2,000 every single week to basically optimize their biomarkers and make sure they're healthy and film their whole entire process. And actually, all our racers, I think one of the things that they said was like, oh, they feel so much better than 3 weeks ago, because they were really optimizing their health and making their health a lot better, and also kind of biohacking, right, to a certain extent, to perform better at the sperm race.
We only have about 30 seconds left. Truly, this really does seem genius. Is this the first of many, Eric? Is sperm racing going to potentially be a new sport?
Yeah, we see in 4 years, this could be the Olympics. So our goal is, we had a race before that went really well, and now we're kind of putting this out there. Our race is tomorrow, April 25th, UCLA versus USC at Center Studios. And, after this, I think we might have massive celebrities. Nick Cannon could be one of them. I think that's like been pretty requested recently. And then who knows, it could be in the 2028 Olympics one day.
It absolutely possibly could be. Who knows? Really, very genius idea. Really raising awareness, which is absolutely important. Eric and Shane, thank you both. Really appreciate it.
I also appreciate you guys having us on.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.